Hey all, Zach here, and welcome back to another Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last one, we were just declared guilty, but then Larry Butts came in and be like, yo, hey, I heard something. It's like, oh my gosh, undeclare that guilty verdict. Larry, you gotta talk now. So apparently Larry said he heard something, and he said he only heard one gunshot when two were actually heard that night. And he apparently said they had the radio on, so now we're about to hear his second testimony. So, what did Larry hear? It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. Oh, I guess Keontae was not available, huh? That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it really booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when he heard it too. Oh, we better press him on that point. You were listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't the man listen to his radio in peace? Is this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is.
Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio.
True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony.
Well,
wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Even Phoenix brings it up. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. It may be a charade, but it's our only chance to keep Edgeworth from being declared guilty. Larry, you're literally our only hope right now, so let's go to immediately this point. I remember exactly what the DJ said. Well, what did he say? What did she say?
Mr. Wright, please cease this pointless questions. What possibly good could knowing what the radio DJ said to do us?
Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. The DJ could have said, like, maybe the winning lottery tickets. We don't know. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should.
Why?
Well, how do you know if we don't ask,
Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot.
Oh! Are you sure?
Of course I am. She had this really sexy voice.
Maybe Von Karma's right. I'm not sure how this helped us out at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard, but there's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. And we actually do have our evidence, which is that one line saying, hey, it's almost Christmas and I heard the gunshot. The thing is, though, is that there is actually a thing to note, is that we have the second photo that shows an empty lake that was taken just before midnight, just before this is almost Christmas. And that's Christmas Eve. It's not Christmas yet. But it's not the right thing to show. Dang it, we showed the wrong thing. Hey, Your Honor, is this the correct thing to show? No, it isn't. Slaps you in the face. Okay, you take some damage. Whoops, that didn't go so well. Alright, so apparently that's not the thing that we want to show, so do we want to try showing a different thing? Let's see. Do we have any? The two gunshots were after midnight. The DL6 incident stuff is not what we need right now, but a lot of disposition. We can probably disposition. Yep, this is what we want. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct?
Huh? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas, when he heard the gunshot.
Indeed, and?
Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas! Heck yeah! We got the meme! Oh, this is a famous image used all over Twitter. You posted so many times. I don't care how many times it's posted, and we have so many variations of it, whether it be the original DS game, we have the current version remake that we got here, the anime, the movie. This image has been posted so many times of just the simple phrase, almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. And I see it appears so much on December 24th, but it's amazing. I love this image so much, and it's gonna. And here's the thing: I indulge in this too. I've been keeping up a tradition of doing this every single year because, by golly, it's an amazing tradition to keep up. So good to have. And no matter what, it's just amazing to see because it's just such a good line. Just almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. I know I've been on this image for so long, but it's such a good line. And so funny just to hear. Nice meme. Thank you, Phoenix. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve.
That would seem to be the case, yes.
But that contradicts the two testimonies we'd heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. That's a good point. That clearly contradicts the testimony. Yep, that does.
Order! Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight.
Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious.
What?
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butts' claim he heard the gunshot before midnight?
I think that Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight.
Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim? Show me evidence that there was a gunshot before midnight.
Yeah, we do have one. It's actually this empty lake photo. So now this photo comes in handy. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp of the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m.
Oh? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture.
Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Correct. There was a loud noise in the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photo was taken. In other words, when Larry heard the gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve.
Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then, where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshot after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken?
Not at all, Your Honor. It is in fact the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were two sets of gunshots within the 25-minute pause between them. Ooh, that's a good point there.
Why would this be?
Don't be fooled, Judge. The camera was set to respond to loud noises.
Yes?
No. There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed and triggered the camera.
Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear! Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that a loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any.
So now we gotta prove that it was in fact the gunshot. Do we have any proof? Let's see. Well, here's how. The gun was apparently fired 3 times. We only counted the first 2, but never the third. This is my evidence. The murder weapon just points gun at him. This is my evidence. Points gun at him. Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both the witness who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That third shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, totally get you now. Oh, don't do this to me, game.
Order! Order!
Sorry about that. My game just my recording software just decided to crap out for a bit. So if there's a bit of a glitch that happened, I'll try to see if I can fix it. But if not, then oh well.
That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen the night of on the lake.
Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask? Why?
Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. What's wrong, Nick? I have it. Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in this case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch, and let me know if I say something that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Wright?
The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. Oh, cleared up everything? I wonder how. How could it all be cleared up?
What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. So you finally realize the truth. There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself.
No way. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting.
Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, 1 boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant Miles Edgeworth and the victim Robert Hammond were on the boat.
Boom. There he goes. Bye-bye, Robert.
That was the gunshot fired in the boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on the boat.
I admit it is hard to imagine any other possibility.
Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
We have photographic evidence at the time of the shooting. The timestamp of the photo says 15 minutes. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot at the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent.
Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the 2 men on the photograph are.
That would be Edgeworth and the murderer. Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. Oh, that makes somewhat sense, but is there any proof about that?
What? Are you serious?
Yes. Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place.
I'm not sure what to make of all this.
Ludicrous.
Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then.
The murderer's name? Wright. It's... well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name.
You don't know?
Bah! Again you waste my time!
Well, here's the thing. I don't know because he never told us. Oh no, he realizes the murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop. That old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then.
Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat?
What? Well then, where did the murder take place?
Show the judge where the murder took place. I'm gonna say it took place right here, at the boat rental shop. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he can meet with the victim without anyone seeing.
Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime?
Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. Remember, he'd been like scurrying around on that little lake just trying to find that Steel Samurai. That night, he was out on the lake searching for something. And then he came home. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then, just as he was starting to head home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat?
The boat shop.
Well, there we go. We explained it.
Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nick, are you sure about this?
Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. All right, let's explain everything. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. Oh! He just got like scream face going on. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's clothes. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got onto the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then
who fired the pistol in the boat, Mr. Wright?
that would be the boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose.
Wait a minute.
Yes?
Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone?
Details.
Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice.
Because the first shot missed? To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor.
Create a witness?
The murderer left his pistol and fires one shot, then ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake.
Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly
that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, boom, fall. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him.
I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had been shot the other.
The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to the shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. So, this is everything. We got everything laid flat. Come on, Judge.
Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly.
Oh, so it looks like the judge kind of agrees to that. Well, I guess this story is going to be laid a little more flat now. While we're waiting for him, though.
Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand.
All right, Edgeworth. What are you answer honestly.
Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said?
Yes.
Well, why did you go to the lake that night?
What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishing so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me.
Something important?
I'm sorry. I can't say what it was.
Your Honor, sir!
Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet.
The witness has disappeared! He isn't at the boat shop either!
What?
What should I do?
Find him quickly! We can't allow him to get away!
Whoa, the boat shop guy get away? This is getting intense! Well, now manhunt's going down. Old manhunt, we can say.
Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared.
A search warrant has already been issued.
It goes without saying that I can't declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned.
Oh, there we go. We survived the second day. And by the skin of our teeth as well. But, ooh boy. Now we're outside of the courtroom in the defendant lobby.
Yay, Nick, you did it!
Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict.
And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out.
Sure. Once I sift through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients.
Hey, Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth?
Did you say something? You were spacing out a little bit, huh, Edgeworth?
You look... Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably gonna get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax.
I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No. There's so little time left. I want to tell you, to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? Come on, you can talk to me. It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. Oh, is it about your father? But we're gonna have to learn about that next time. So, next time on Phoenix Wright is Attorney, we're gonna be learning more about what's going on with this case. It's the final day of investigation, so everything's gonna start wrapping up soon. I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles.
Objection!